Yo, 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 guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Marijuana SA Weekly. FT, Dean, and Andy, and today we're going to be giving you some facts. 10 things, or maybe we might end up just being 5 things, but 5 things you didn't know about THC. THC is obviously the component in cannabis that's the psychoactive component, or we might actually find out some extra facts around that. And
Damn, you took my first one.
It was actually a lot harder than we thought to find stuff on THC that maybe, I mean, we tried to set it so that I would try to find some stuff that Dean wouldn't know, and like Dean would try to find some stuff that I wouldn't know. It's been tricky. It wasn't easy. How'd you find the search?
I spent 3 hours of my day today reading up about, well, I typed in like THC facts, little known THC facts, unknown things about THC, little known THC information, and it all just kept on taking me back to stuff like, instead of THC, it would be like marijuana, like 45 facts about marijuana, and then it's like all this rando stuff about like Bob Marley getting buried with a piece of bud and whatnot. And then like, yeah, so I ended up scouring hard, but I got 3 decent ones and 2 MacGyvers, so I'm not too
Yeah, mine's about the same. So between our somewhat MacGyvers, there might be like 5 things that you guys are going to learn today. Just before we kick in, thanks so much for everyone who joined the live stream and the big giveaway yesterday. I think there was over 100 people there that entered, and someone actually won like a $3.5 grow light. We're punting a sign up to an email list that's just in the description below, so you can sign up there and you get like basically exclusive news, genuine first insights to any product offers and things like that. It goes out to, you know, the email list is quite a holy grail of info, and we obviously look after those emails really well. And yeah, we've got a link to our Take A Lot store, so you can support us there. Found a loophole.
We finally got a link back.
Yeah. So we're not getting taken down anymore. We can't link straight to our site, but we can link to Take A Lot. They gave that the big thumbs up, so you can check out some of our offerings there. And yeah, let's kick it in and go for it. First thing, I'll start.
Yeah.
Or maybe okay,
No,
you start.
And you can go first. You can go
Okay.
first. I've got good ones. The 3.
When was THC discovered?
1964.
Oh, fuck.
And it was discovered by...
That's the rest of our shot.
It was discovered by a Bulgarian-born chemist named Raphael Mechoulam in Israel in 1964.
Okay, so that's exactly what I had for my first
I thought
one.
that was an epic one. Okay.
Yeah, Israel, hey? Interesting.
What I found cool about that is like Israel has always seemed to be interested in cannabis. I also know that they've got really advanced farms and stuff these days, so it was actually very cool. And it was also, I mean, it was at that point it was found that like it travels to the brain, and it gives the naturally occurring effects which come from it. So quite interesting. Wonder how they found that out. Probably loads of like testing on students.
I suspect it was like, I don't know, it was a doctor. It was Dr. Raphael Mechoulam. So I suspect he was doing some research, and he managed to isolate the specific compound THC, and obviously I suspect he found a way to take all the cannabinoids and only extract that single one, which is pretty dang, dude, for 1964.
He was the first guy to like extract a THC crystal.
Yeah.
the original diamond maker.
Yeah. Still crook to this day.
Yeah, just like they were probably like knife. What do they call it? Hot knifing it, because dabbing wasn't invented yet. No, it was more scientific.
Okay,
All
shit.
right.
So
interesting stuff. Okay, let's see if I can
one?
get Andy with my one. My first one is What are the 4 most common things that THC are soluble in?
Oh shit. I didn't get the same question. Fats, I guess.
Yes.
It's got you like some like I guess oils. It's not. Is it alcohol?
Yes. And then
Um,
they also listed here some random ones that I wouldn't really put it with. But what I was researching is THC soluble in water? Some compounds within the cannabis plants are marginally, but generally not so much. So if you do something like a bud wash, you might lose a small percentage, but it's not going to take everything off of your plant, because it's not,
I guess
really
the way
soluble.
it could detach it, but it would stay in the water.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you need to be
It wouldn't
careful.
dissolve into the water, but it could be in the water. It would like clump or something.
It would get detached if you're super rough with it. I did some bad washing earlier today because I had a bit of an outbreak, and yeah, that's what spurred me to research it for our afternoon. So 2 out of the 4. What are the other 2 things? Acetone and glycerol.
Oh, glycerol.
Glycerol.
Isn't that vape liquid?
Yes. Okay. So
Propylene glycerol, I think, or glycerine.
Yeah.
or
Let me hit
something.
it into the Goog quickly.
I'm pretty sure that's just like our Jenna's doing a video with the CBD vape.
Okay. Yeah. So you would be able to ferment dissolve your THC into glycerol and make some like dank vape juice. You'd need something like a wax liquidizer.
And what's the other one? The
Acetone.
dodgy acetone.
I suppose also butane would also work.
No, well, I guess is it soluble in butane though? Acetone will actually don't people extract with acetone? Like not you're not supposed to, but don't people do it anyway?
I'm sure people
On the
extract
sly?
stuff like methylated spirit.
Yeah, like whatever they can get their fucking hands on.
Exactly. So yeah, specifically the part I researched listed it says soluble in, and then it lists them. So
That's a good one.
soluble in.
I didn't
Alcohol
know.
was first, and carrier oil was second. Glycerol third. So it's kind of probably the main ones.
I wouldn't have guessed acetone. So that was pretty interesting. Okay, I've got one.
Okay.
Which receptors does THC attach to?
This is where my knowledge starts to lack hard. I know all about the plant, but not much what it does in the body. It attaches to your endocannabinoid system, which you have specific receptors which form part of the system, of which the receptors I can't really think of right now.
So it's you get, from what I gathered, is you get, obviously, yeah, it attaches to these, like everyone knows about the receptors on your endocannabinoid system. And you get different types of receptors. There's CB1 and CB2. Apparently, they attach to CB1 receptors.
So what goes into CB2 receptors?
I'm not too sure. I feel like as I'm reading this out, I'm like, yeah, there's going to be someone in the comments being like, you guys are retards. Like,
someone in the comments is going to come school us. But we're trying to test each other's knowledge.
We're trying to acknowledge ourselves a bit. And
make it a bit more exciting and topical. You know, we're learning as you are. So we put a lot of effort into learning all this stuff. I've got a good one.
Okay, hit it.
Okay, so... Is cannabis stronger now than it was in the early 1990s?
Oh, I think I've may have gotten this one. I guess it is stronger now because it's been so exorbitantly bred to be as potent as possible.
Yeah, so from the research that I was doing related to it, I read like quite a lot into this one, because everyone always says like, yeah, weed back in the day was weak, and you know, now it's far stronger. However, I think it's a two-pronged thing. Obviously breeding is more advanced, so I think guys have been like pushing, you know, special cuts that are really pushing for high percentages. But I think the main reason behind it all is that, you know, the original testing back in the D was all done with like police confiscated parcels, and a majority of it was like, you know, imported outdoor bricks, which is majority seed and stem, and not so much flower, you know. So there's leaf, seed and stem, and the sensimilia is not really that common. And then over the years, the amount of weed getting confiscated by the police that contained seeds became lesser, and the sensimilia became more. So instantly you've got an increase in percentage, because the farming practices are better for the product. And now obviously with legalization and the ability to grow, you're not fucking growing in like your garage, you know, or your like bathroom or some shit. You've got like a facility, and you can actually
some like lab grown.
So I think it's like, I think there was dank back then, but like in short supply, because only some people had it, you know. But the majority of it was weaker, because it wasn't, you know, the knowledge base was smaller. And I think it is definitely higher now, but I think it's mostly got to do with, you know, the way that it's handled and the amount of knowledge that we have, and of course the technology. You know, hydroponics has gone so far, nutrients, you know, boosters, lights,
they say how like fundamental fertilizers were to like life as we know it, you know. And like, I'm sure cannabis as we know it, because to get plants to grow, you know, naturally, you would have like soil rotations, and you know, you need to have it, you know, time for the soil to heal, and you know, it's agriculture is not a very natural thing, but with fertilizers it is. Put a Roundup.
Yes, might be smoking on that weed, that's for sure. But yeah, that was probably of my research today. That was definitely my bomb, because I didn't really find anything much more interesting.
Okay, well, I've got one
found that highly interesting.
Tessellate you with. Okay, so there are. I'm
so excited.
Okay, how many different types of THC are there?
Yo.
This could be a banger, dude. I mean, I might be wrong, but
3.
There's actually 4. So there's THCA, THCV, Delta 8 THC, and Delta 9 THC. In retrospect, I seem to remember there was like a Delta 10 THC as well, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, so the Delta 9 THC is what gets you stoned. Like, that's the high feeling. But before it's Delta 9 THC, it's THCA, which is the THC just straight on the plant, because it's obviously doesn't get you dukkharuk until it's been decarbed. So it changes, you know, it's different compounds before it's decarboxylated as opposed to after being decarboxylated. That's why if you
eat a bud, it's not going to get you stoned, but if you smoke a bud, through the chemical reaction of burning it, it changes the chemical compound from one to another.
Yeah, to the psychoactive one, which is the Delta 9. And like a lot of the times they've had things like specific, so like some countries specifically banned Delta 9, and then they just found ways to sort of extrapolate Delta 8 and Delta 10 only. And apparently they do have some good effects, like numbing and some sort of pain relief. I'm not too sure, but yeah, but much milder effects. I guess CBD would be even way more milder than that. But yeah, I thought that was pretty. Because THCA. I mean, yeah, when you get your bud tested, are you testing for THCA? Because that's how would they test for THC Delta 9? Because it's not burnt yet. It's not being decarbed unless they decarb the bud in the oven and then test it for Delta 9. But
I'm not the person to ask for that question. I have no idea.
It's a completely rhetorical though. I'm not too sure.
They do science.
They do science. Okay, I got. Do you have another one?
I have one more, but it's more like a little. It's not really. I don't have the solid deets, but I'll ask you what's the highest THC percentage that you've seen in flower?
Like on a certificate of analysis, or just like on the interweb?
On hopefully on a COA, but like a lot of farms post them, but maybe on the internet would be fine as well.
I think in like I've seen like claims of like 30%, but yeah, that's claims. Highest certificate I've probably seen is probably like in the 22s.
Yeah, so I've seen according to High Times, Godfather OG is the most potent marijuana strain on the planet, and the test that they did or reported to have been 34%. But I follow a company called Collective Elevation on Instagram, and they do a whole bunch of they do living soil. They work with Blue Mat, and I've seen them post certificate of analysis as, after each harvest kind of vibes. And the last 3 tests that they posted all were over 30% THC. So guys are pulling crazy, and and that's in a fully organic, re-amended living soil. It's the Kiss organic soil. So like, I found that highly interesting. People are pushing how much more. Where's the plant in there?
Like, see, this is gonna be like diamonds growing out of like a potato, dude. You just like pull out this fucking diamond, and it's just like,
just like dab it instantly. So that's the sum total of my research. I was supposed to come in with 5, but I got 4. Not too bad.
Okay, so I got one more. By the looks of it. Okay. First country to legalize THC. Obviously there was, since in sort of the 1900s, I guess.
I think I read something earlier, accessing memory banks. Okay, I'm blanking. Which country was it?
A bit of a fucking assassin of a country. Uruguay was apparently the first country to legalize cannabis, I think in about 2004 or something like that.
They were operating. That's interesting.
And then just on that, like, there were some other countries that when I was reading about legalization in the past, a lot of the illegalization was actually forced by sort of like Americas and like the first world dominating countries, because it was like they trying to make it illegal in their country, and now you got all these other countries fucking peddling it on the side, and it makes it very difficult to regulate a market if other countries are producing it legally or whatever. So I think it was kind of a mentality, if we can't have it, nobody can, and then they just like drowned everyone in there.
100%. The small fry fishes can't go against the big whales in the
exactly.
ocean. The sharks, I suppose, would be a better what? 100%. I mean, well, how if you're like living next door to a country that wants it illegal, they're obviously going to sanction you or cut off trade or this or that, or force you into it eventually.
Yeah.
To stop you.
It's nuts.
I've got one more that I could ask. What are the 2 main negative side effects of too much THC?
Fucking paranoia, I don't know, chronic job loss or something.
Chronic job loss. I'd say paranoia, with those late night schizo ones. And when I was also looking into it earlier.
The psychosis or something.
Yeah, psychosis. I don't know. Maybe
allegedly.
When you, like, smoke so much weed, you like don't sleep for like ever, and just like go into like sleep psychosis. I don't know. I haven't experienced that one, but I've experienced some hardcore paranoia from too much THC.
I think the paranoia is pretty normal.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, some people that I know have had, or myself even, too much oil, and then you like forget the ability to talk and so it does definitely have. You can't take too much, but you can't die from it. So probably just cause you a little bit of a paranoid one for a few hours.
Yeah, which is
edibles generally will cause it more so because people don't, you'll get like a cookie and it'll be like 150 milligrams, and then you'll be like, they'll be like, take a quarter, but like who eats a quarter of a cookie?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
like the whole cookie, and the next moment you're like, gotta go to the hospital because you like think you're gonna die.
And it'd be quite interesting. We should get someone to talk about the science of like greenies and shit like that. It's also find that very fascinating. How it just like all of a sudden you can be fine, but like the mixture of things just like absolutely wipes you out. But we are about out of time for today. Hopefully you guys learned some interesting stuff about THC. I kind of did. I must say I didn't know about Israel. Didn't know a lot of stuff. But yeah,
I learned a few things as well.
Put some comments in the description so we have topics for next week. Some thought, some inspiration. We probably might do the same, just like do CBD though. We're trying to get
we're
knowledge
gonna
up
upskill we're gonna be learning and sharing over the next few episodes. See if you guys appreciate it, and we'll keep on bringing the heat.
Amen. Cool. Till next week. Peace, guys.